Hey guys, this is Chris with Cignals. Hope you had a great week of trading last week. This is the third weekly market pulse for Bitcoin. So we left off last week discussing composite trading and how we use that to identify cycles and structure in the market and where we are in terms of the grand scheme of things, if you will, right? And how the simpler the better, right? So this was the daily candle of the last market update, and we were talking about if it does break above and close above this resistance line on the triangle here, we have a good base for a move higher. But it would be interesting to see if we did wind up retracing it, or putting in like a bearish engulfing completely or partially. So I alluded to there would be a short setup ideally here somewhere. I wasn't willing to take it. If you watched the video, I said a little too risky for me. I'm sure a lot of people made money on it. Kudos if you did, right? We put in that support with a higher low around the mid to low eights, kind of exactly what we spent at length going over in the last video. Okay, so if you didn't see the last video, you should go back, take a look at the second weekly market pulse, and understand why mid to low eights are very important and why we kind of did stop up here, right? Because we went over it a lot. So digressing, but we did get that range expansion here like we thought we would, and we started pulling back into support, which we put in higher than the previous, and now we have a very convincing candle looking like it's going to close above resistance on the triangle for the first time, this convincingly at least, in a very long time. So this was where we left off last week. Looking right at it, okay, volume, not really anything to write home about. You got that pump into the triangle right above resistance right here, where we showed you that big red candle that was wicked on both sides, right? This was the top of it. You notice how there was very low, like this one bar, okay, you got a lot of buy volume, but it was thin. I mean, this isn't really, that should have been your first clue if you were watching Cignals, that there may be an issue here. And if you were trying to time a short, that would have been it probably, because you top ticked the market completely on low volume, had that one bar of expansion volume-wise. If we just look down here on the delta, I mean, it's dead. So we wind up falling on big imbalance through the bottom where the UFAs, or the unfinished auctions, were putting in support, and we had a lot of imbalance go right through it like Swiss cheese. And at this point, we're trying to find support now, right? A lot of imbalance sell-wise, a lot of sellers, but not a lot of volume. So, we spoke at length again about jockeying for support or position in the low to mid eights, and why was that important. So it makes a lot of sense that this is where we gapped and ended up. We got a lot of fighting for position, a lot of gapping on the chart, which is indicative of liquidity, and all of a sudden the volume comes back. I mean, if we look here at the delta, we got a lot of sell pressure lower, and we wound up putting in a floor in the low eights, which in hindsight was a very good buy, because if we look back on the volume, all the volume came back into the market here, right at the lows, right? I mean, it's pretty evenly split for the most part. So there was a lot of jockeying for position, which is exactly what we went over last week. It shouldn't have surprised anybody that this was the case. And then all of a sudden, we started to get that rotation higher, but it was divergent a little bit into it, because you see there's a lot of delta, a lot of negative delta as this is happening. All of a sudden now we're getting a lot of bullish delta that's lifted us higher. I'm not quite so. There's a lot of volume here, but if you look, you try to confirm what you're seeing. I mean, I'm not sold just yet on this move higher. I mean, I would like to see this close today with that type of composite bar like we've seen here. This one, I mean, if it doesn't wick down too much further, it closes on big breath for the most part, positive breath. I mean, the next day's trading is going to be very interesting. Do we go? Do we just three-step it, like 1, 2, and then another, run basically to 10K? Could be the case. I mean, if not, I mean, because the internals are, I mean, for lack of a better word, very split, and not so convinced that this is going to be the case. A lot of sell imbalance. So yeah, I'm just try to keep an eye out, be risk conscious here, avoid paying whatever ask at these prices. You know, try to wait for a pullback. Again, this isn't financial advice, but like risk consciousness, even if you miss trades, you know, it's always better to err on the side of caution. You try to be as patient as you can, sit on your hands as long as possible, and enter trades on your terms. You have to let the market come to you. When you chase, I mean, you will get lucky. You will, you know, go on a streak maybe, but it's usually a path to ruination. Again, not financial advice, but definitely keep an eye out for pullbacks because of these split internals. I mean, you can look at it pretty much from any angle. I mean, there is a lot of buy pressure here, but at the same time, when you look at it, I mean, it's not so convincing. I mean, it easily can pull back into mid-8 support and then go for the higher high off the higher low. So that would be my entry. You do whatever makes you comfortable. I hope you guys have a great week of trading. And if you haven't taken your trial of Cignals yet, go to Cignals.io. Go sign up for the trial, 7-day trial. If you don't like it, just go ahead and cancel at any time before the 7 days is up. And if you like these videos and you find them useful, please like and subscribe. That'd be great. If you have anything you'd like to see covered in particular, drop a comment. Any type of feedback about the video, go ahead, drop a comment. And to all of our clients, we appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for your business, and I hope you guys have a great day.